Hi guys, welcome to my How to Save Money at Christmas video. So I've compiled a list of 12 things that I think are really great ideas. Quite a few of them I do already, and then others I've got ideas from elsewhere. I thought this would be a great one to do coming up to Christmas, especially with the rising cost of living and the pressure at Christmas to buy gifts, and it can be a bit daunting if you haven't got loads of spare cash just to spend on gifts for people. So hopefully you take away something useful from this video, or you might be able to implement at least one of the tips into your Christmas planning. But I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll just get into the tips. So one of the most important tips that I read a couple of years ago was to save money each month for Christmas. So for a couple of years now I have a separate Christmas pot and I save into it every month, so that when November, December comes, I already have the money there that I've been saving every month for Christmas, so that I don't have to use either November's pay or December's pay to buy the Christmas presents. Then you feel like you're left with nothing or you don't have enough. So I appreciate now it's getting close to Christmas, so this is something you could start going forward in the new year. But have a think about how much you spend at Christmas generally on food, on gifts, and then break that down over the 12 months and then set a standing order up to go out every month into a separate Christmas account. And then when November rolls round, your future self is going to thank you so much. It takes all the pressure away, it takes the stress away, and your money's already sat there in a pot. It also helps to be able to buy gifts earlier for people and get organised, rather than wait until you pay in November or even December if you're that last minute to be able to buy the gifts. So if you don't do that already and you want to get a bit ahead, I would highly recommend saving every month, just setting up the standing order, starting from January, and by the time November comes, you'll be laughing, and I guarantee you'll enjoy your Christmas a lot more. Number 2 is set a budget for friends and family and stick to it. So for example, you could say you're not going to spend more than £30 on gifts for friends or family for each person, and then make sure you don't spend more than that. It's so easy to get carried away and think, oh, that's a really nice gift, it costs £80, I'll get that for such a person. But if you have a lot of people to buy for and you tally up £30 between however many people it is you're buying for, it can add up to quite a few hundred. So it's really knowing what your overall budget is and how far that stretches between each person you're going to buy a gift for. And tip number 3 kind of ties in nicely to tip number 2. So it's to stick to just buying the main gift, stick to the budget, and don't buy the little extras when you see things that you think, oh, such a person would like that. I find that so easy to do because I love shopping, I really like buying gifts for people, I love wrapping and presenting gifts. So I do find it really easy sometimes, especially if it's somebody I know well, like my mum or a friend, and I think, oh, she'd love that, she'd love that, she'd love that. But you could spend hundreds doing that. So think of a gift, or you might see a gift that you think that person will like. If it's within budget, amazing, buy the gift, and then wait until you've bought everybody's gifts. And if you have a bit of money left at the end and you then want to buy a little extra, like a candle or something to go with the main gift, then go ahead and buy it. But don't buy little gifts first, because sometimes the little gifts can add up to just as much as the main gift very quickly. And number 4 is, I think, is a really great idea if you really want to save money this year, and it's to do Secret Santa between the family. So I heard of this a couple of years ago because I think it's more popular in other countries. I've not heard of that many people doing it in the UK that I know. So basically, just write everyone's name in the family on a piece of paper. You could put it in a hat, or there's even apps now that do it these days, like you do Secret Santa in your workplace and things like that. And then you'll all have a budget. So I don't know, say the budget is £80. You pick, you know, Uncle John or something out the hat, and then you buy a gift for that one person for £80, and then that's it. So instead of buying 6 gifts at £30 and spending a lot more money, you'd buy one gift for the one person at £80, but they'd also receive a really good valued gift. I thought that was a really great idea because you're able to spend more on a gift that the person might really want, but you're also saving so much money because you're only buying for one person, and then everybody receives a gift. So if you really want to cut back on money and buying gifts for numerous people, Secret Santa within the family is a brilliant idea. And number 5 is to track exactly what you've spent, because again, it's so easy to buy a gift and then buy little gifts, and then before you know it, you might have spent £50 on one person. You're buying gifts for loads of people, you're buying shortbread or tins of chocolate for the hairdressers, for the nail shop, and you've gone well over budget, as well as like all the food, the wrapping, decorations. So if you have a notepad and a pen, I just like diaries and things, but you could do it on your phone. Every time you buy a gift, write it down. Sometimes I think you even forget sometimes what you've bought for somebody, so you just pick stuff up in a bit of a hectic rush towards Christmas as you're out and about. But if you've got the list on you and you wrote it down and you know what you've got people, it's much easier to keep track of what you've spent and also just know what you've already bought for somebody. I also really enjoy looking back at the previous year's list of gifts that I've bought. My mum does this every year, and she can look back over the years and say, oh, such a time I bought you this, or you wanted this at this year, and I think that's really nice. I like to look back and see what I've bought friends and family for gifts. Also to know, like, sometimes you don't realise you might have bought a scarf for someone for the past 5 years and might forget, and you know, they might think, oh, she always buys me body wash or a scarf. But it's just kind of interesting to know what you've bought them previously. And at number 6 is to only buy what you can afford. So basically not getting into debt to buy Christmas presents, because I feel like that's the biggest joy killer of Christmas, is to start the new year with lots of credit card debt or being very overdrawn because you spent too much at Christmas. That's not what Christmas is about, and it's certainly not how you want to start your new year. It's much better to stay within your means, stay within your budget, and be able to feel good in January that you're not paying the price for what you spend at Christmas. I just think if you haven't got the money readily available to buy the gifts, then it's really not a good idea to get into debt to buy gifts. It's much more important to feel financially stable, and if you can't afford to buy gifts this year, just tell people, or just tell your family, like, don't expect a gift from me this year, or just buy selection boxes. If a family member of mine said that to me, I would be more than happy for them to get themselves, you know, back on track and not in debt whatsoever, instead of them worrying at Christmas about, you know, spending money. And tip number 7, which I saw online, which I thought was a really good idea, is to buy secondhand for children. So I don't have kids at the moment, but you can basically get everything secondhand now, can't you? So some really expensive things like scooters, bikes, certain things you get secondhand are like brand new if they've not really been used very much, and children aren't going to know whether you've paid £200 full price for something, or, you know, £40–50 secondhand for something. If it's got a bow on it and it's wrapped up and it looks fairly new and not worn and used, they're still going to use it and have a great time. Wendy houses you can get a secondhand, if that's still a thing. I used to love a Wendy house. It all just helps save a bit of extra money at Christmas. And tip number 8 is to buy early in the Black Friday sale on Amazon Prime, or John Lewis do a great 20% discount like November time. So if you know what you're going to get people, the Black Friday sales, Amazon Prime, and again, like, are great times to buy those like bigger gifts you might be getting somebody. So in the most recent, like Amazon Prime, there were some great things on offer if you are looking at spending a bit of money. A few air fryers, electronics, you can get quite a discount on them. So if you are future planning a little bit, that's definitely worth thinking about. What I like to do as well, which helps me all year, if for example, like I'm out with my partner James or shopping with my mum, or just having conversations like with people, if they mention something that they're really interested in or that they've been thinking about getting themselves, I tend to make a note of it in my phone, and then when the birthdays roll around and Christmas comes around, I've already got a list of like numerous gift ideas I could get them, and it helps so much instead of like spending ages rattling your brains or going on websites just flicking through gifts and seeing what you think people would like, or browsing the shops. I already know like numerous things that person's been interested in this year and can kind of get them something related to that, or a specific gift if they've mentioned it. And of course I always like to get gift receipts in case they want to, you know, take it back, exchange it, or if they already have bought it themselves, for example. Tip number 9 is to search online for the best deals. So if you are out and about shopping, it's sometimes a good idea to kind of Google different prices on different websites. So you might see some perfume, for example, in Boots, but then at the moment, like John Lewis have got 20% off. So instead of just, you know, seeing something in the shop and thinking, right, I'll get that, I always just have a little bit of a Google of the products on my phone and then see what shops come up and what the prices are in different shops. Or if you use cashback sites as well, you could order it through the cashback site and benefit that way. So it's just being a little bit savvy really, just to save where you can. And at number 10, if you are a member of any like supermarkets that have like a point system, so for example like the club card at Tesco, Sainsbury's Next card, I think there's various ones. I just mainly do Tesco's club card, but my like vouchers build up quite quickly when I'm shopping at Tesco. I think at the moment I've got about £15 in vouchers that I've not spent for a couple of months. So you could save them up throughout the year, and then when Christmas comes you could use them towards like the Christmas food shop, or you could use them to buy gifts for people in like the massive Tesco's, for example. If you're buying bits of clothes or home things, candles, you could save your vouchers up all year and use it for that. And tip number 11 is to have a look at the outlets as well. So if you're from a similar area to me, you may know of like Cheshire Oaks, but I'm sure there's lots of outlets everywhere, Bicester Village as well. But sometimes you can get really great deals at the outlets rather than the major like shopping malls and things. So I always like to have a bit of a browse there before Christmas. They don't always have everything that you want, but you might get something on the off chance. Some of the makeup, the cosmetics can be reasonably priced, and like the Yankee Candle shop at Cheshire Oaks is a really great shop. Obviously there's quite a lot of designer shops, so you could get things a bit discounted there if you wanted to get some nice gifts. And at number 11 is to make a list of gifts for all your recipients, because if you have a list of gifts that you know you want to get people, it kind of stops you randomly buying gifts here and there. And also if you've made a gift list and you know what the cost of the item is going to be, then you're much more likely to stay within your budget. And that is it for my 12 ways to save money at Christmas. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would love it if you could give it a big like and subscribe to the channel. if you've been enjoying the videos so far. Also like this video if you want to see lots more Christmas content, and let me know in the comments if you've got any requests for videos. I'd love to know. I always like ideas. If you've got this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're able to implement at least one of the tips into your festive season to save some money. So I will see you on Monday at 7 for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.